women today are so broke that they are quite literally fighting over having to split a bill for a meal. And what's crazy to me, you all, is that these would be the same women demanding and commanding for a man to be able to pay upwards of $500 on a first date. But you, ma'am, cannot even go out with your homegirls, have a nice night out on the town, and afford your own plate. This makes no sense. And this is why, you all, the men have removed themselves. And it's getting so bad, you all, that women are now in this new mode of removing themselves. Like, you know what? I'm not even going to hang out with these chicks no more. A lot of them are bad, bougie, and broke. A lot of them are, trying to live off of the next person, leech off of me. She wants me to now sponsor her because the men are not doing it. And I'm not doing it either. The sisterhood, you all, is crumbling right before our eyes. And we can't even say that we should be surprised about it because the writing has been on the wall for a very long time. Men have been constantly talking about their grievances, talking about how ridiculous these women are with their lifestyles. You want all of this, but you can't even afford it. You can't even deliver that to and for yourself. And now, ladies, we are right there in the middle of it, experiencing the brokenness of a lot of these women for ourselves.
A party at downtown LA restaurant ends with several women being taken to the hospital with stab wounds.
2 suspects were also taken into custody, and Gigi Graciette is live in downtown with all the details. Gigi.
It was quite the end to a private party yesterday afternoon. Take a look at the video. This clip shared on Citizen app shows the large police and fire presence with multiple victims down in different locations. And there was the search for the suspects. And there were a lot of people who were simply watching all the drama unfold at Zaya Restaurant on 7th in downtown LA. And boy, there was certainly a lot of drama. This morning, we have exclusive new information on what happened as the private party was wrapping up. Apparently, servers brought the party the bill, and that's when sources tell us the fighting started. It was 4:40 in the afternoon, and apparently the all-girl group disagreed on something and started arguing with each other. That's when police confirm one of the women pulled out a knife and another one grabbed a bottle. The war of words quickly escalating into a very dangerous fight. Ultimately, the fire department says they evaluated 5 people at the scene, transporting 4 of them, all women, ages between 26 and 37. They were taken to the hospital with stab wounds. Some were stabbed, police tell us, with a knife. Another person was stabbed with that bottle. The 5th victim, they're just calling her Jane Doe because apparently she did have some cuts to her face, but she just decided to leave the scene. By early evening, police confirmed 2 suspects were arrested, and this morning, those 2 suspects, both women, are still behind bars. They're facing charges of assault with a deadly weapon. And bringing it back here live, we're told that one of the suspects in jail is possibly related to one of the victims in the hospital. That still has to be confirmed. Police have a lot of work to do on this case. Meanwhile, no word on whether or not that bill was ever paid at Zaya Restaurant.
I know y'all lying. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe, you all. This is crazy, nasty work. And let's pay attention to the fact that not only are these women of a particular age, right? So we're talking about mid to late 20s to mid to late 30s. Isn't this the age group to where they are maybe looking to settle down, date, but the men are not looking to settle down and date? So now they're having to go out with each other, and that's failing and backfiring. See, the men, let's peep the game, you all. The men have removed themselves. No, you're not going to leech off of me. You're not going to use me. And so since you have men within that age range, a lot of the times that are checked out and done because they've been there and they've done that with a lot of these chicks, they are forced to have to deal with each other. And look at what they are dealing with. We have got to highlight that, you all. I don't think that is a coincidence that you have women in this age bracket that are going through these things. A lot of the men in that age group have removed themselves. So I don't think that that's a coincidence that these age groups are having to mingle together, try to leech and eat off each other. I don't think that's a coincidence. That's because men are done. Okay, let's start there. Then second off, you all, did y'all hear that these women are related? You can't even break bread with your own cousin. You can't even break bread with your own sister, but y'all want these men to break bread with you. Girl, I just know y'all are lying on this. This is craziness. And y'all would be the same bad and bougie chicks talking about, oh yeah, because a man better be able to afford this and afford that and afford this and buy me that. Girl, you can't even pay for a plate. You can't afford your drink. This is just, oh my God. Y'all stabbing each other up for a steak? For shrimp? Y'all that broke? Serious question. Are y'all really this broke that y'all thought that y'all would be able to get over on your homegirl? Like, you know what? If we just put all these bills and meals together, I mean, they gonna have to help me pay for it. Like, y'all was all essentially going into this dinner with the same mindset of having the next chick pay for you. And when y'all all came to realize that y'all was all broke, it's like, oh man, I thought you was gonna pay for my shrimp. Well, I thought you was gonna pay for my salad. Oh, I thought you was gonna pay for my steak. And now y'all shaking each other. This don't make a bit of damn sense. But again, fellas, y'all are being vindicated. These women really are broke. They really are trying to mooch off the next person and then getting upset when it does not work out. And when it comes to other women, those women are in the same position that you are in. So she's going to feel entitled to you taking care of her too. So this is why we have the clash going on. Like, girl, I'm the prize. No, I'm the prize. Because all women are taught that they are the one and only prize. And so now that you all are being forced to have to be together, again, it's a lot of friction. It's a lot of tension, fighting. Like, it's getting violent. Lord have mercy. Fellas, I can't even blame y'all for saying, see, this is why I don't deal with them. This is why I keep my money to myself. This is why I only deal with a certain type of woman. This is why also men of today are requiring for a woman to have her own life in order first, because he is not trying to come into a woman's life and be her caretaker, be her sponsor, be her sugar daddy, have a charity case. No, I need a woman that is doing well on her own. That way I can expect for us to come together and be able to build cohesively, right? It's a collaborative effort that is supposed to be to the best interest of both parties, not just a one-sided dynamic so where I'm just taking care of everything. No, because a lot of men, unfortunately, have dealt with that. As a matter of fact, I want you all to drop the cash emoji in the chat right now if you yourself, once upon a time, was dealing with a woman that was broke and bummy, and she was expecting for you to take care of everything, and then before you know it, you looked up one day and was like, dang, where is all of my money? Oh, I know. I spent it all on broke Becky. I spent it all on broke Brenda. You know, and enough is enough. So now men are coming to the table expecting for you as a woman to also come to the table with something, and y'all are mad. Now these men are just all kind of zesty and broke and dusty and sassy. No, I just refuse to get played again. I mean, look at how y'all are doing each other. Y'all are stabbing each other over steaks. Y'all are shanking each other over shrimp. So yeah, I do not want to deal with a low caliber woman. I don't. I don't. I need you to be self-sufficient on your own first. And then when we come together, we can properly build. But I'm not dealing with this. Ladies, this is why men have backed away. Look at what they are going to potentially be exposed to. Nobody wants to get shanked over shrimp. And I would bet you this. I would bet you that every woman's plate was no more than $50. I would bet you. No woman's plate exceeded $100, and they're out here fighting shanking their cousins, sisters, because they didn't have enough money. And once again, I have got to continue to drive this point home. These are the same women, you all, that demand and command for a man to spend all kinds of money on a first date, be able to afford them a luxurious lifestyle. Like, these are those women, and they can't even split a bill. And with it probably being a birthday party or some kind of celebration, it was probably a lot of women there, right? You mean to tell me you can't split a bill amongst 10 women? Nasty word. You know, and unfortunately, you all, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. Ladies, pretty soon, y'all are not even going to have friend groups. Pretty soon, it's going to be women out here like, you know what? I completely and totally understand now what these men have been talking about.
This is why I keep my ass home from a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? And you know another thing I don't mind doing? Eating by myself at a restaurant. I would have ate at that fine dining establishment by myself and enjoy myself than going through some stuff like this. This is why I don't go to no birthday dinners or do nothing like that, because of stuff like this. People start arguing over a bill. You're just like, are you kidding me? No. So somebody was hospitalized. I mean, think about this. You at a dinner and there's a stabbing. Crazy.
You don't need to be Albert Einstein to recognize that this incident involved a group of black women. Stabbing each other over a restaurant bill that they couldn't pay is utterly despicable. All grown women at that, some related, ranging from the ages of mid-20s to late 30s. These are the same women that claim to be entrepreneurs and boss chicks on the internet. I remember back in the day working in a fairly upscale restaurant as a chef. Whenever the servers received the table of a group of black women, they either refused to take the table or tried to assign it to another server because they were painfully aware of the potential issues that could arise, such as lack of payment, frequent requests, and low to non-existent tips. When black individuals like myself address the stereotypes perpetuated in the black community, we are often labeled as outsiders, racist, or we hate black people, despite the numerous examples available on and offline that demonstrate the validity of these stereotypes. By all means, I don't believe that black people are a monolith, but it's true that a significant portion of them exhibit such behavior, which contributes to the collective perception of us by other races. So now us civilized black individuals are forced to endure the stereotypes that 90% of black people created. It's truly sad, and the reason why I don't hang out at specific places, be around certain demographics of people, or make friends with everyone. I profile people and keep a small circle because it's a defense mechanism to maintain my safety and peace.
He went there. And like the video, okay? Now, the race of this group of women, to my understanding and to my knowledge, was not disclosed. However, just based upon the supporting details and things around the story, one could probably conclude or assume that they are black women. And personally, as a black woman myself, it makes me uneasy. It frustrates me because that is a stereotype that is placed upon us. And it is due, unfortunately, largely in part to the fact that the bulk of us out there do display these type of characteristics. We do behave like this. You know what I'm saying? And we got to do better. And the mere fact alone that, like he said, these would be the demographics of women, the age groups of women, to where, yeah, I'm self-sufficient. I'm a boss chick. I'm living like this. I got my own that. And you yourself cannot even afford your own meal. It just casts, again, this horrible imagery over us and makes us all look bad. And like I said, as a black woman myself, that infuriates me because I don't want to be profiled, or I don't want to be automatically assumed that I'm just going to be this entitled, broke, selfish, greedy, needy individual. But that's how a lot of women of my race, I'm gonna be real about it. Do I like it? No. Do I even want to acknowledge this? Absolutely not. But that is how a lot of us are operating and conducting ourselves, you know? And not to even go here, but I have to. All right. I gotta be honest about this because I do care about my people, period. All right. I want the best for black women. I want us to elevate, evolve, grow. I want us to find love. And while I am aware that there are other groups of women out there that can also be entitled, selfish, greedy, needy, self-centered, so on and so forth, I have to also be real enough to acknowledge the fact that when it comes to us in particularly, we are the loudest when it comes to demanding certain things and not even being ready and willing to reciprocate, let alone appreciate. This story and situation and scenario alone says so much about how we are in relationships, let alone our friendships. And we are really sitting here wondering why we're the least likely to be married, the least likely to find love and settle down and live happily ever after. Y'all can't even respect each other. And these are your family members. These are your friends. So a man does not stand a chance. Y'all get the lights up. Y'all know I am not lying. Y'all just know I'm telling the truth. If we cannot even have healthy, thriving friendships and relationships with other women within our own personal lives, how can we then say, oh, yes, you know, a man should do this for me. A man should do that for me too. And you can't even deliver to other women within your own friend group, within your own family. You can't even deliver things upon and to yourself, like not being able to pay for your own meal as a grown woman. Y'all heard the age range. Late 20s to late 30s. You can't afford your own plate. But y'all will demand and command all of these different things from these men. And you can't even do anything for yourself. You can't even do anything for the women around you. You're broken, Dusty. So although I think that this is a very unfortunate situation, like you should not be fighting and stabbing each other over steaks and shrimps, over lobster tails. Like, I mean, although this is very unfortunate and embarrassing, you know what I'm saying? It's still very telling. And I do feel like it's a lot that we can take away from this scenario. Ladies, start looking at yourself before you start trying to critique and tear down other people, calling them broken, Dusty, saying that they're not high value. If you yourself cannot meet certain expectations, how dare you try to place that on somebody else? And what's really, really sad is the fact that a lot of you all are not even aware. You're not even self-aware enough to know that, damn, I am being hypocritical. How am I asking for this and I can't even deliver that? I'm over here having to scrap and fight over a shrimp plate, but I want a man to cash out on me, and I couldn't even afford a $50 meal. Y'all, I'm gonna be real. I don't even care if each individual bill was $100. As a grown woman, you should be able to afford whatever it is that you are requiring, whatever it is that you are ordering. Otherwise, keep your broke ass at home. Y'all are too old. Again, going back to that age range, y'all are too old not to be able to afford your own meal. But this is what we are having to bear witness to in today's time. Women, y'all being exposed for lying. Lying about your luxurious lifestyles. Lying about all this money that you're making. And here's the thing about it. Even if you are making a lot of money, a lot of you all are highly irresponsible. So all the money that you're making is going right back out the door. And this is another element to the reason as to why a lot of men don't want to get involved. I can't even trust the fact that you'll be able to add on to the foundation. You don't even know how to maintain and sustain and balance out your own pocketbooks, your own lifestyle. So once I enter into the equation, it's just going to get worse. You're just going to start eating more off of me and yourself. You're just going to blow through all of your money and then look to me to replace it while nobody's replenishing me. And this is why a lot of the men are done with y'all. And like I said, pretty soon, a lot of these chicks are going to be like that other woman talking about, this is why I go out alone. Y'all are going to be by yourselves. The women are not going to show up. The men are not going to show up. It's just going to be you and your brokenness. But that's all I got for you all today. When you all sent me over this video, I said, wow, this is crazy. This is something we can talk about. And so hopefully we can learn something from this. You know, let's see if we can try to turn things around. Let's stop trying to demand and command other people to take on responsibilities and burdens that we ourselves are not ready to take on for ourselves. All right. But love y'all, respect y'all. I'm gonna see y'all in the next dope discussion. Feel free to leave your thoughts, opinions, and feedback about this in the comment section down below. And I'm gonna check y'all later. Much love and peace to the crown heads.